the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Rams. And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Lance. Jones has it. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Going right back to Akers. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Stafford. And that one complete downfield to Kupp. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. And the Rams at 8-7, a game over 500 on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, a quick throw, but incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. That kick, by the way, Charles, a clear run.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A very solid gain of 27.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. But I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about what they think so they can be in the right position, to be in the right spot. As he was there, pick that one up and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They run again with Harris. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So third down, and defensively, the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. Working from the gun, Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, LA. Huge play by the defense. Not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Lance going to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. This ball nearly intercepted. A once-in-a-season chance for the big fella, but he couldn't corral it. 4th down, straight ahead.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go.
Lance and company going on 4th down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Lance to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza is sent on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Stafford. It's complete to Robinson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Stafford. Sliding out of the pocket. Man open is Robinson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Stafford hooking up with Akers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. Stafford now to throw. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. 2nd down and 5. Here's Stafford. Akers back-to-back catches. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over.
13-yard line.
Okay, Greg.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cam Akers, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Lance now to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. He's going to have the first down and more than that. Down the right sideline. Deontay Johnson. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Stafford's throw here, hauled in by Kupp. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Here's Stafford. Being chased out left. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. Now the Rams will will signal for a timeout, their second, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. But to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Lance. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
We'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. That would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st down, they'll start out with Akers. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now it's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here comes the Rams punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Ready.
They hand this off to Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. He'll return it from the 6. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
51 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action, Stafford. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
On the give, this is Harris. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Lance. He's going to wind up and air it out. And Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them. When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking up the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he's going to have a Rams 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, here's a run by Akers. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here's Austin. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You can have the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 66 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Lance. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Lance going to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Let's go.
To throw, it's Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Lance again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Desperation time here. Lance. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, They're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now a second down and 6. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing is Stafford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Ready, set.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you go to the field and find out where the game is realized. This is not a situation where we're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Kind of a strange ball game, Charles. We did not have a single point by either team after half. Really a defensive clinic by both sides in half number 2.
Wasn't that just beautiful to watch? Come on, man. Come over to the dark side with me. Wasn't that fun to see these defenses holding sway, right? Making sure they're controlling the game in the second half? It lets you know that you got to score points when you can. You never know when offenses might go a little bit dry, and you need those points from earlier.
So for the Rams, they get the critical victory to move them to 9-7 now.
Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters real blue, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew.